You're looking very, very relaxed, I have to say, for two guys who are organising a world-class international awards event. Let's talk about the night. For somebody who's never experienced it before, what would they expect?
It is in all an hour and a half, and it is in the sense a standard event in that nominees are read, winner is revealed, he steps forth and is given the opportunity to thank whoever he might feel grateful for having brought him to this point in his career. And which is always a laugh. It can often be a laugh to hear what some of these people have to say or think, and then that goes through. We have a couple of live shows, and it goes up towards the end where we get everybody together again on the stage for a final
family photo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This year we have taken radical steps to really get a good grip on this issue, and I think we've done very well, if I do say so, because we have expanded the number of categories to more than 15 DJ-based, music style-orientated categories, and we have expanded the amount of nominees per category to 8 rather than 5. That make more people fit in better boxes now.
Then there is always a kind of controversy. You know, people talk about you always go to Pasha and who you choose, and they make it seem like that you guys have total control over who wins those lumps of green rock, but it's voted for.
The issue before would have been with the nominees, and this is why this year I built a panel around me that helps inform us about what their choices are. So we have maybe 35 top league DJs, some other 35 managers and industry honchos of various DJ equipment or distribution or other form of marketing. So we cover the entire field. A hardcore journalist who's been writing for more than 15 years are on board as well, and they all cast their vote as to who should be nominated in each category, and from this inner votation we then get the nominees, who have then fallen out very well because of that. I think it gives a very balanced, and then after that the people out there, then whoever wants to can register and vote for the winners.
Why the Kryptonite? Why is it the award? You know, we've got the normally gold statues, glass, crystal statues.
Oh, we were pretty fed up with people trying to outdo each other in the most outrageous, egomanic displays of statuic narcissism. So we came across this due to the somewhat alien connotations of the substance of Kryptonite, and the fact that it has a tonight in it, and that it was cryptic at the time seemed like a good idea. It stuck. Every single winner has his Kryptonite at home on his shelf. I remember Carl Cox has made lamps out of his, because he's got several, and so forth. So yeah, our mascot is a little alien, and so it all went well together.
Who are some of the past winners of the Kryptonite? You mentioned Carl Cox being one of the winners.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, we're giving it to everyone who's been a heavyweight champion for more than 10 years. There's a bunch of those. They've eventually all picked up one at a time, from Frankie Knuckles doing the Lifetime Achievement to the most recently being a hot new kid on the block, David Guetta. So, you know, who just arrived in the historic spectrum. So, and in between, I think Eric Murillo has won the most.
Yes. Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know how many?
Him or Roger. It has to be one of them.
They're very consistent, aren't they?
It's house, one international.
Yeah.
And they still, I mean, you see it, they do bring in the numbers, and when it comes to market consistency and testing of time, we have some promoters here and there that come and go and so forth, but they're very consistent.